and welcome to today's talk with Phil. We're going to be talking about AI for small business, where to start, and what actually matters with Phil Pallen. And I'm so glad to have Phil. Phil, can you tell us your credentials? Because you're pretty AI man. Tell us
Oh,
why.
well, thank you. I'm so happy to be here. This is one of my favorite things all year that I look forward to in terms of virtual events. You're one of my favorite people, and I love this community. Did you hear my dramatic pause for
Yes.
effect? Love the Squarespace creator community. So when I introduce myself, I say that my adult job is I'm a brand strategist. So I help people and companies position, build, and promote their brands. That's what I've been doing for 15 years, owning a branding agency. And then I started posting YouTube videos right before the pandemic. First video actually was sent as unlisted on YouTube. Look at us with our fuzzy
I know,
microphones.
sorry. I was like,
It looked like a little kaleidoscope effect there for a second. First video I sent to a client was unlisted, and it was, hey, client, here's how to update your Squarespace blog. Pop in your text, pop in your image, add a video if you're feeling fancy and you're ready to go. And the client said to me, Phil, why don't you post videos like this on YouTube? It was really entertaining and informative to watch. Imagine all the other people that could learn from you. I thought, God damn, that's good advice. That's something I would tell someone. So maybe I should take my own advice or take the client's advice in this case. And that's what I did. I started posting videos about branding. That quickly evolved, Liz, into videos about content creation, social media, marketing, and then AI in its infancy, back then, at least infancy in terms of general accessibility. I had a few videos that I don't know if you would say went viral, but they performed well. I did one that was an AI avatar tool that got a couple 100,000 views, and that put me on the radar for brands. So since then, so my fun job, to complete the intro, is that I work as a content creator. Now, well, last year, 80% of my income was from content creation. My biggest partner is Adobe. And then I've worked with 154, because I have a spreadsheet, 154 brands in 5 years.
wow. I think when you last did this summit, was it like 50-50 was your thing? Are you looking to have this be like 100% of what you do?
No,
No.
no, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, no, no. I actually back in the day wanted to be a TV host. So
Yeah.
it's kind of cool that 15 years into my career, full circle moment, that I actually effectively am a TV host. Just
Yeah.
the 2026 version of that, which is in my pajamas, reading the teleprompter that I bought on Amazon. Um, so no, I don't want it to be 100% of my income. I think it's really important that I keep my boots on the ground working with clients. I don't work with as many as I used to, but now I get to be picky about only working with the ones that I actually enjoy. But I think what makes me different is that I actually do the work. There's
Yeah.
content creators
Okay.
that kind of right, they hypothesize and like, but it's like, no, like I still do the work, and I think that's important.
And another thing as well for anybody that is joining, when you said that you were here at the infancy, I mean, when the general public were more aware of AI, you've actually written a book about AI for small business, and you've also done a course. So university paid you to lead a course, right?
Yeah.
So you are very well rounded to talk today to us about small business. So I know you've recorded a video, you've got slides, but
Yeah.
you were saying to me before the chat that you've removed the audio so you can talk about it live and go through it.
Yeah.
So if people have questions, you might answer them at the end, but please do pop them in the chat box. And shall I let you go ahead?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to the side. Yeah.
Love it. So this, I think, is about 7 minutes total. You should be able to see my screen. Um, Liz, I kept it short and I recorded it so that we could move quickly through the material, and we've got lots of time for questions. Friends, let's start with what you should be using AI for, and don't let anyone overwhelm you, which is basically everyone on social media. Claude Code works. Shut up. Today, we're going to focus on the most important things that you as a small business owner and a busy small business owner need to focus on. So AI is great for computing a lot of information quickly. AI is great for handling the repetitive, tedious stuff in your business. And I have a way that I can share to track that. Finally, AI is great. Can you tell I'm an optimist? AI is great for remembering everything that you've told it. So, as Liz said, I wrote a book about this. I've studied this a lot. Even me, as someone who's immersed in this, I feel completely overwhelmed right now by how quickly it's advancing. Today, I'm focusing the presentation on the 5 tools that I touch every single day as a website designer, as a branding agency. The first one is PDF Spaces, which is a feature available in Adobe Acrobat. Isn't that just to open a PDF? Not anymore, friends. This is one of the most valuable resources I use because I create a console for my clients. It's called a space. So, where I give them a worksheet, this is an example on screen that I'm giving you guys. When I work with my clients on writing their brand sentence, okay, I have them answer 3 questions. Who do you help? What do you provide? And why are you better than anyone else at this? Here's the link if you want to access this. So before I would hand my clients a PDF put it in an email or go through it on a client call. This PDF space allows me to have files, notes, and all the resources, even website links I can add in here and create a more interactive portal with my clients. And they can actually use the AI chat within this, which is where I'm pasting this brand sentence to show you the example. And they can actually work with the material that I've put in here, okay? Call transcripts. So Liz, I'm recording our call right now. I can take the transcript of this call, let's say you're my client, and we can use this transcript to write content. I can do all of that in this PDF space without having them have to go to ChatGPT or even go to Claude, where they have to be paying extra money to make sure that it's not training the model on their confidential data. Okay. I know someone was complaining about Adobe prices in the chat. I know. Some people complain about Adobe, but the one thing that you can't complain about is that all of this is safe, so they don't train models on your data. Okay. That's PDF space. We're going to move fast, and I will have time for questions. I'm watching the chat. Hi, Eva. I see you in the chat. Hi, honey. Okay, we've hopped over to Adobe Express, which is my favorite tool to basically create everything. If you've never used it, but you have a Creative Cloud account, you have it for free. You have premium for free. It's also available for free on a free plan. Obviously, there's limitations, but it is kick-ass what you can do for free in here. On screen, I'm showing how I can take an Instagram asset, add some quick animation to turn it into an Instagram reel or some kind of animated, maybe post it on TikTok, etc. There's also more advanced features in here. What I'm showing on screen is bulk create. So I can take a basic spreadsheet and create 100 variations of one design in seconds. Okay, I'm going very quick, so just follow me here if you can. There's also a feature that web designers will love called Apply Brand. So I took a template here. I have my fonts, colors, everything set up. Single click Apply Brand, and everything updates for my clients based on the brand that I've defined. Okay, I can go back and show you guys this stuff if you have specific questions. Next tool, TextBlaze. This is how I save my text snippets. Liz, I talked about this one a year ago, and I'm still using this tool. I save everything that I enter into ChatGPT and other AI tools for quick recall using this tool called TextBlaze, okay? So on screen, I'm showing you an example of how I write my YouTube videos. So I don't remember this, but all I remember is this little short form that I can type, and it enters the prompt for me. Are we following? Does that make
No, can you
sense?
pause this? Can you pause
Yeah,
it?
sure. Of course we can.
So, sorry, I'm a bit confused about this bit. So Text Blaze is a program, but you're in ChatGPT.
So let me actually do the demo live.
Yeah,
That'll be a
thank
little
you.
bit slower. Okay, so here, Liz,
So
I
this is
have
ChatGPT.
yeah, it could be Claude, it could be anything in Google Chrome. That's where this extension works. So I'm going to type this short form. Wait, hold on. I have to do it in a solid type. I have to put my microphone down, stand by. There we go. So anything that I enter more than once into AI, I save it using this tool right up here called Text Blaze. Okay.
Okay, that's what I didn't see. So that's like a Chrome extension
Free.
for free where you have
All your
chunks of
prompts.
text and so it's all prompts
Yeah.
for like when you're doing YouTube and stuff. I'm so like backward with my
Sadie
tech
goes,
anyways.
whoa, mind blown. I love that.
Yeah.
Kelsey, oh my God, I love this. Um, yeah. So
Okay.
you guys,
So can you click on one of those on the left
sure, I'm
in
not going to click
Blaze?
on my social security number, but I'll click on
Okay.
the other ones. Let me click on the one that I was
Do the
showing you
YouTube
because,
description. By the way, Phil, my goal this year is to do YouTube weekly.
well, let's
So
talk about that. Let's
so
talk
let's
about
go to
that.
your YouTube thing.
I'm gonna find this one, YouTube process. Does
Yes.
anyone else, by a show of comments in the chat, is anyone else making their goal YouTube this year? Because I'm actually going to abandon the rest of the video and let's Liz talk about that, how you could be using AI for a YouTube
Oh
video.
no, don't like if yeah. Well,
No, no,
there's
don't
lots of
worry.
yes. Yes.
Yeah, I thought there might be. So don't worry, Liz.
Oh.
This is still the presentation. So because you can adapt this for
Is
whatever your
everybody
business
okay about
goals are.
this? Okay. Oh
so
gosh. Great.
so this is how I write a YouTube video. Okay. And now every time I write a YouTube video, it's a little bit different, but essentially I have these assets to work with. I have a brief and potentially an email thread. Okay. That I can just paste into the chat. So it's up to speed on all the conversations we've had. Then I have a recent example of a YouTube video in text form, just the text. Okay. Then I do branded content. So I will paste the homepage text of whatever brand I'm working with. Then I like to play dirty. And I will paste 3 transcripts of competitors of mine. And I'll say, don't copy what they've done. Let's be better than them in our video. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I say the most important thing that you can say in any AI prompt when you're doing this multi-step process is this: don't start scripting until we have all the information. Especially tools like ChatGPT that are kind of lazy. They're trained to be that way. They'll try to hurry and get you the results, but just say, DTA, babes, don't take action yet. Don't take action until you have all the information that's required for this task. So I define that. Are you following, Liz? Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. I've slowed it right down, but I'm glad you're telling me to slow it down because I have a lot I want to share in a short amount of time.
Okay.
So that's how I write a video. I say, and friends, this is the common thread in everything that we're asking AI to do. Anytime that we're not happy with an output, it's because we need to provide more input. So I'm trying to think, maybe what I'll do is show you do you want to see like a completed channel, how it looks?
Yeah. Well, is this like, was there anything else, this text blaze was one of the tools, because this was all
Yeah.
about like things that you were enjoying in AI that you use all the time. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So let me show you. I'll just quickly pull up an example. I've been working in this chat ever since I started the video. So you can see the prompt, Liz, it's right there.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it just, in all these steps, it will give me a YouTube video script that is 90% accurate. And then my process of editing goes through that and just tweaks it and adds Phil-isms. Okay.
Okay. Great.
There's just a little bit left of the
Yeah,
pre-recorded.
please go ahead. Carry on. I'll be quiet.
Okay. So no, you're fine. No, I like it. I like the interruptions, honey. I'm ready for it. Claude is just another example. So now I actually can't remember what I recorded here. We're going to find out together. Projects is something that everyone should be using in these tools. It's basically where you can house multiple chats in one place. And what that does is it houses all of those things in one place and it learns from each other. Okay. So I write all of my one-off brand deals in a single project, and every chat gets better and better because it learns my cadence, it learns the changes I make. And then I showed quickly there how you can add custom instructions. So one of my custom instructions is no M dashes. But that's basically all I wanted to show in this part, was make sure you're developing your content in projects, where you can have files, you can have multiple chats, and you can have custom instructions. Okay. So right now there's just a lot of content that's designed to stress you out with AI. Remember this, AI is good at three things: computing a lot of information quickly, handling the repetitive, tedious stuff, and remembering everything that you've told it. So in the example that I showed you initially of my PDF space, this represents what I do with my clients. Okay, Liz, you're my client. Our first call that we have gets recorded using my transcription tool.
In Adobe.
No, I use a tool called Plod. We can talk about this if people want to know what transcription tool I recommend. There's Descript. There's a lot. There's Descript, Plod, all kinds of them.
Okay.
Okay. Point being, by housing everything from a single project in one place, whether it's an Acrobat PDF space, whether it's a Claude project, ChatGPT project, these are all kind of the same thing. I always think AI can actually help you become not lazy, but it can actually make you even better at your job as an expert. For me, as a brand strategist, I can recall, Liz, the first conversation that we had 4 months ago when I'm writing the copy for your about page, right? Let's reflect on an instance where, Liz showcased her ability to understand her client's needs. Okay. So before, having to remember that by scratch, it just wouldn't have happened. I would have forgot it. Now we can use these tools to compute information, handle tedious tasks, and remember.
So you would have, like, if we'd had a chat and it was you were working on a 4-month project or something, you would have the transcript and you would download that transcript into your, say, Adobe. You'd put it in there, and then when you're saying, okay, I'm now working on the project with Liz, can you look at all of our transcripts and stuff, and wherever she's spoken about or her, like, story, can you
let's write a prompt
through?
together?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
this project houses every conversation we've had since we started the project.
Right.
It's time to write the about copy for Liz. My goals are tell enough of her story that people understand why she's qualified. Include a few tangible examples that showcase her expertise and her unique point of view. And, maybe one more thing. And I would say, let's comb our previous discussions, comb through our transcripts and highlight those moments. I try to give it a number. Highlight 5 instances. And what I like specifically about Acrobat, why I use this instead of ChatGPT, it includes citations on everything. Okay. So with ChatGPT and some of these tools, they're getting better, but they hallucinate a fair bit. Whereas here, I can click on the footnote, and it'll take me to the very specific spot in that project where it's sourcing the information that it's giving me. Okay. And I think that's really important.
Yeah. And so I heard that, like, you use Adobe Spaces for your client work, for all of your projects. These are the 5 tools that you use. Okay.
Yeah. So Acrobat, I should probably put text labels. Acrobat PDF spaces are what I showed today. That becomes my client console now on all the projects I'm working on. TextBlaze is your text snippet tool to save the prompts that you use more than once. What I like about that is, instead of me trying to remember, I can go back and perfect it to the neediest detail. When I'm working on a video, I'll post a YouTube short, and an Instagram reel. On Instagram, I use ManyChat, to automate it, right? When I say like type Express and I'll send you the link, right? You
Yeah.
can't do that on YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
So I film 2 versions of the outro when I record a video, and I added into my script, write 2 versions of the outro into my prompt. So that's an
Okay.
example of how you're constantly perfecting your prompts over time. I showcased Express, which I use for presentations, used it for this, all my social media content, use it for everything. For me, I use Photoshop and Illustrator and the whole suite of creative tools. Express syncs perfectly with all of those, which is
Okay.
why I use it over Canva. Claude is my go-to AI tool. Now I saw people commenting, have you switched from ChatGPT to Claude? Yes, I'm one of the people that have switched in the last
Yeah, I
60
was
days.
wondering if you had. I think that, yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
I did. I
Okay.
switched right after Christmas. And not before any of the political stuff. I switched purely based on the fact that it sounds more intellectual. ChatGPT is too tech bro in its output for me. And I'll show a resource that I made available to this group in a second that will help with that. Then this final one is Plaud, Plaud. It is a physical device that I keep on the back of my phone like a total nerd. Looks like a battery, but it's a AI recorder. And that way I can record ideas I have when I'm out on a walk, um, conversations with clients that I need to, some of my clients are like busy executives. Phil, let's put out this LinkedIn post, blah, blah, blah. And I only have one chance to acquire that information. This physical device, I actually don't have it with me. I left it in Spain. But it goes on the back of my phone. And then Plaud is, it also has like a dashboard where I can do all my
Okay.
transcriptions.
So you do,
That's a transcription tool I use.
so you use quite a lot of transcriptions. I've never
I
used
use
that.
it
I'm
for
interested.
everything. Liz, I
Anything.
transcribe everything. So I'm trying. If you could see this screen, I have Plaud, the desktop manager, recording the call right now in like a non-invasive way. I can take this and I could now go make an Instagram carousel in 15 minutes based on the ideas that I've shared with you.
Is anybody else using transcripts like this?
I transcribe everything just in case.
Yeah,
Because
no, please.
anytime where you're sharing your thought leadership, obviously, you need to inform your clients. If it's a confidential call by law, usually you have to tell them you're recording, and I do. But anytime I'm on a podcast, Liz, anytime I'm on a podcast, I record my audio only, transcribe it, because that podcast host, if they're doing a good job, are asking me questions that are going to allow me to share my perspective. And I turn that shit into something else because, honey, we only got so many hours in the day. Let's make use of the minutes we spend doing our thing.
So you
Chicken
will
wang.
so okay, so you will say if you think, okay, I got something really great from this podcast that I was on. I transcribed my bit. You will put that into something like Claude and say, make me a YouTube video about the points that I had from this podcast into something a bit more original. You've got like a prompt that it will get that information from.
I don't even have a prompt. I just write one on the spot. So what you could do, Liz, is you could create I love the PDF space because of the citations and the fact that it doesn't leak my information somewhere. I'm always cautious using tools like ChatGPT unless you pay a fair bit of money to make sure that it's not training the model on your data. So important. It's boring, but it's important, right?
Yeah,
This is kind of
my
the new.
friend's writing a book at the moment, and if she's putting her ideas in there, I was just like, don't be doing that. Yeah.
Do not do it. Do not do it. I actually gave the copy of my book that I had sitting here. I gave it to someone, so I don't have it as a prop. But I never uploaded my book to ChatGPT. I wasn't allowed to. I had a publisher. They said, do not upload it to ChatGPT because it gives away all of your hard work for free, right? It's
Can
not to
we get
say,
your face on screen fully?
oh
Unless you've
yeah,
got something
no, let's do
to
it.
share.
I forgot.
No, no, no.
Oh, what I was going to say was in the link that I gave for this summit, I included 2 things. The PDF space that has the brand formula worksheet. That's an exercise that I do with my clients. I wanted to give it as an example. Also, you can use it, write your brand sentence. And then I included my ChatGPT words and phrases to avoid the prompt that I give ChatGPT to tell it all the words I don't
But
want it to
Claude
say.
now, we're using Claude, I
We
think.
are using
Everyone. Yeah,
Claude.
okay.
Yes.
And so that's everybody. If you go to the check, I don't know if anybody's been noticing this, but at the bottom of all of the talks, there's check out our speaker page. So all of the speakers here today have given information like Phil's just talking about. When you see his picture, you'll hear a little bit more information about him and then what he's offering us today. So has anybody got any questions they want to ask? Because we've got a couple of
There,
minutes.
there's a good one here from Stephanie, and I'll keep
Yeah,
coming
please.
through. Sophina says, love that idea. Kessia likes my chicken wang. Let's keep a light around here. We got to add our personality now, and we're being taken over by robots, honey. Stephanie says, if I'm using PDF spaces, is it still worth paying for an upgraded in Claude? I pay for both. The PDF space, I like that it's um, a space that I can share with my clients and their teams. So a lot of my clients, let's say it's an interior designer, they've got a team of 2 or 3 people that can also be a part of whatever the task is. Maybe it's content creation. So Liz, let's say you're my client, and you wanted help with content creation. What we would do is I would tell you those next podcasts that you're going to be on, record your audio. Next 3 client calls with permission, record them. And in the transcript, I want speaker labels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then all those instances of you being such a smart little cookie that you are, I can put that PDF and create your second brain, let's call it. Or imagine there's 100 documents, all examples of your thought leadership that can go into a PDF space, and that's where we can write our content. So to answer Stephanie's question, I use Claude more internally and for my own content. PDF spaces are amazing for the work that I'm doing with my clients. It's its own kind of controlled and separate area.
Do you find that because you work with Adobe a lot, do you
Yeah.
find that you specifically use their products because you are like an ambassador for them? Is it you just purely would be using them anyway, do you think? Or like you just learn so much more about them? Because I don't know. I use Photoshop, but I don't know a lot more of the other products because I feel like I'm a bit behind the times.
We all feel
You
like
think-
that, Liz. We all feel like we're behind the times. And maybe
yeah,
the only reason I don't feel that way is that this is what I do for a living.
yeah. And that is why
So,
you, yeah, use it.
yeah, so you're not alone in feeling overwhelmed and feeling behind. I feel that way. So, I would say yes, I'm early to get to try a lot of these tools and test them out and sometimes to create content around them. But the ones that I shared today are the ones that I've integrated into my business. And so that's why I shared them, because they're tools that are really useful for me in a creative business. So yeah, I don't incorporate all of them into what I do day to day. Even if I create content that goes out as Adobe, but for me, a lot of the tools I use because they fit nicely within my business.
That was really nice to hear, just to sort of say that these are the tools that you use in your business and you are
Oh yeah,
trying, like you work with 150 brands and within those there's, I'm sure there are even more that you've done things with that you've not even paid. Um,
yeah.
have you got anything else that you want to share? Oh, like there are 2 questions actually. If I'm using, okay, that's with your heavily
Really
AI.
good conversations in the chat here. This is great. Yeah, Kelsey says the times are changing so fast. It's so easy to feel behind. Right now, it's like all this chatter about Claude Cowork, which is amazing. And I think it is going to be very useful for web designers. And then obviously Claude Code. I did a partnership with them a few months ago when they first launched it. And it's
I'm just looking
amazing.
at the time. We're just kind of going over. There's one question. With your heavily AI assisted workflow, what is actually still fully you about your content as a content creator? How do you keep track of this and how transparent is this to your audience?
Yeah, that's a great question. Everything that I ship, so everything that I post, everything that I click send on has my final sign off. So the difference in the dynamic, I'd say I'm getting a lot more done in a day, but I feel that there's more added pressure on me to make sure that I am infused in everything that I do. So I overcompensate with the way that I write things to make sure that they sound like me. I capitalize words in emails and I add emojis and I do all of the Phil isms that people know from just communicating with me, texting with me. I think it's really important that we still take responsibility for the final product in an AI assisted workflow. But I'll just end on this note. I don't see AI as necessarily a sign of laziness. When AI is applied correctly to our workflow and our work, it allows us to be even better at what we do. That's my thesis in all of this stuff. And it's what I believe. And
I think
so
that was
I
a good
incorporate
place
it.
to
Yeah,
end on,
good.
Phil. Yeah, like I think it can be helpful. I think I definitely want to learn to be better at using it to make things quicker in my business and still infusing me, because I will use it sometimes, but I will be like, change things around so it still feels like me. Because I think for me, there is one thing, if I get an email and I feel like AI's written it, even though they've signed off on it, if it doesn't sound like them or their own thoughts, I feel like, well, I'm not going to read it because I feel like they don't care because they've just used AI to be quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is, yeah, it's important. Right. Well,
Think about send an audio note on LinkedIn instead of sending a text reply. Click the microphone and send your audio so people know it's actually you, or on Instagram. I do that all the time. Anytime that I can show up as me with proof, I do it.
That's a really nice thing. Yeah, I might do that a little bit more as well. Okay, guys, we're going to go to the next talk. Phil, thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
live from Florida. And
Yes, let's connect. Let's connect
yeah,
Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, all the places. Thanks
yeah.
everyone for such an engaged conversation.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye.